Come on. We're gonna go get coffee real quick. Then we'll make a short little jaunt down the street. Ain't gonna be very long at all. I'll be right back. Come on, I see your brake lights on. Move it. Right. Come on, move it. All right, let's go. We basically have an hour to get wherever we're gonna get. Look at this yellow truck. It's a brand new 2018 Freightliner Cascadia. Look at the American flag in the bright yellow. That's a nice looking rig. 2018. Come on, what are you doing? Hello? Just like pull out in front, it's okay. Dang goober snorts. Watch you take that hood off if you don't watch it. Muggy, humid out here. No stop sign and nobody coming. We only got 1 hour, 12 minutes left on our 14-hour clock because we keep working so hard, we keep running into our 14-hour clock. So we're gonna get down where we gotta go, because if we don't, we have to wake up like some silly hour, like 2 a.m. or whatever. And I don't like doing no 2 a.m. garbage. If we drive an hour, okay, it's 7 o'clock now, local time. If we drive an hour, that's 8 o'clock. That means as soon as we could need to wake up would be 6. So we're not even going to make our next shipper on time. How's that for last delivery keeping us too long? We are running blind, meaning we don't officially have a trip assigned to us because the weekend crew, guess what? It's a weekend. Friday night, nobody on duty, I guess. And the way station is open, the lights are flashing. So let's hope we get a green bypass. You see the flashing yellow lights, that means the way station is open. And this little green light up sign tells you they're open as well. Now here's the first transponder. And look at the scale on the road, right here. Alright, that's going to tell them we're empty. and you see the light up signs on the right, they say truck okay to bypass. Truck okay to bypass. And we'll get a green light here. There you go. So we are free and clear all the way until we get to Nebraska City. Now, during the break that we had, being unloaded, I had every intention on coming up with another vlog. But you know, I got distracted talking to a buddy. Then I got distracted watching shipwreck videos and airplane crash videos and the Hoover Dam documentary on if it should ever crack and break. So before I knew it, it was time to get up and go. So I'll do that vlog another time. I just got busy doing other good stuff. So, and it is windy and we are empty, so it's kind of tossing us around a little bit. In case you didn't know it, ABC News had us on their live stream page today. We are actually on there quite a bit. Signed up with them, allowed them to use my videos, as long as they provided a link back to me, and they do. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to the webpage or Facebook page and see it on there. Obviously, we're not going to do that in the 1 hour and 5 minutes we have left to drive. So we'll get as far as we can, shut down, take a 10-hour nap, then continue on in the morning. Luckily, the next shipper, even though it's supposed to be a live load, every time that I've been there, they've had it preloaded. So that's no big deal. Very lax shipper, which I like. You ought to have some flexibility. That's some hot coffee. As see, tomorrow's Saturday, so no problems, no weather-related problems, nothing like that. So we should be pretty good. I'm not quite sure why we keep getting a bad signal. I've rebooted 100 times. I don't know. Maybe bad towers. Whatever it is, there's nothing I can do about it. You do realize that cell towers have a priority list, or priority, right? For example, emergency services always gets first priority. Then people making phone calls. Then people looking at web pages and stuff like that. Second from the bottom is downloading videos or games. Guess who's at the very, very bottom? Uploading videos and games. Why? Because in the whole scheme of life, that's the least important thing in the world to everybody. So they put uploading videos at the slowest speeds and at the bottom of the priority list. So when we go through towns, even Salt Lake or Denver, and all the population is using them towers, guess who gets shoved off all the way to the bottom? So a lot of times that's the reason we are in a poor signal area. And other times it's because of the mountains or the terrain. So I do everything I can. It isn't the equipment. It isn't my programs. Nothing on my end. I'm just glad we can do what we do. You reckon 90% or more, we have a pretty dang good broadcast. So the people that have a heart failure over, you know, the poor broadcasting times, hey, that's part of the business of broadcasting from a moving truck. And you've seen the quality of other cameras out there. Everybody tells me time and time again we got the best broadcast camera. And I do tend to agree. Of course, I may be talking to myself because I show we still have a bad signal. And I don't know if people can hear me while we're at a bad signal or not.
Messaging. You have 4 hours and 0 minutes of remaining drive time.
Alright, so that's our 1 hour. Sun's already gone to bed, so we're just waiting for the afterglow. calm down for the night, I guess. trucks out pretty quick.
Message has arrived. A new message has arrived. A new message has arrived. A new message has arrived.
Hey, look, weekend crew woke up.
A new message has arrived. All dispatches have been deleted.
Yay, deleted. We've been deleted, y'all. Gothenburg coming up.
You have 0 hours and 39 minutes of remaining drive time.
39 minutes. So we know Kearney's out. We have 39 minutes. Kearney's 62 minutes. So we know that's out. Elm Creek, I believe, is at 237, if I remember right. only 7:30 and it's already dark out here.
25 minutes of remaining drive time.
Can y'all hear all that wind? y'all hear that wind?
You have 0 hours and 15 minutes of remaining drive time.
Yeah. These 14-hour days, man, we do way too many of them. I've never been here before. So let's check it out. Oh, gosh. I guess we could pop in this little hole. Well, if that Yahoo parked straight, we could. Oh. I know. Let's park next to a cow poop truck. How about that? You want to park next to a cow poop truck? That's it. Oh.
Home. Messaging. You have 0 hours and 9 minutes of remaining drive time.
Okay. Change that to that. So 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We'll roll about 6:30. That's 30 minutes late to our next shipper. We have, pull this up.
Home. Messaging.
Stop
You
yelling.
have 0 hours and 8 minutes of remaining
yelling.
drive time.
Stop
Home.
yelling.
Messaging.
We have,
Asking for route.
and we'll pull it up here in a second. Kind of signal. We got bad signal. Yeah, I don't know what to tell y'all about the signal. All day it's been telling me it's bad, and I don't know what else to do. All I do is connect to it. We are at the very, very bottom of the priority list. Uploading any media content is always the lowest on the cell tower. And with all the companies now competing for business, and Verizon, which is who I use, now has unlimited. All of my phones are unlimited now. Well, guess what? Everybody being unlimited, they're all hogging up the towers. And if you want to think about it, us using about 300 gigabytes a month to broadcast, you know that we happen to be one of the biggest hogs. So we can't be greedy. We can't complain about other people using up the bandwidth when we are we are quite the bandwidth hog ourselves. So you got to take what we can get and be happy with that. We do pretty good with broadcasting. You got to be happy with that. Missed call. Who called me? I don't know that number. Oh. And apparently our GPS doesn't know where we are either. So, if the GPS don't know where we're at, because it's still telling me how to... It's telling me there's no way to get to Grand Island from here. It is telling me communication failure. So even when the truck GPS is telling me communication error, there's something going on, sunspots, something, because it's even affecting the GPS in the truck. We're getting no signal for the GPS. So that tells you there's something else going on way beyond my control, way beyond the phone's control, all that good stuff. So be happy with what you guys got. I don't know, I guess I could pop in the chat for a couple minutes, y'all. Let me pop in the chat. See if y'all are talking about me or what. Let me see, pull up here. Hey, I see Jason, and I see Ken Laws, and Scott, and Sparks, and Mike, and Neff. How you guys doing? I don't know if this chat will work on a bad signal or not. I don't know, it may take half an hour.
Building route.
Hey, Horacio.
Proceed north on.
Hey, I like that name. Hey, look, the GPS found us.
Feet. Take exit on the right.
So, we're about 85 miles, hour and a half outside of Grand Island. So, Ken Laws, how you doing? Steve's in chat. Woohoo! Jason, how you doing? Mount Man, good to see you guys. Hey, did you know that we were on ABC's, the ABC, I don't know what you call it, ABC News page? Last year, we actually signed a contract with them that they, not really contract, but gives them permission to use my video stream on their website. So occasionally you may find us on the ABC News website. Rick Wampler, oh, I don't know, did you say you were a sheriff or a DOT? I forgot which one. Richard, how you doing? Sparks, you behaving yourself? So anybody got any questions? Nothing to talk about? Don't be shameful. Horacio Pastorino. I like that name. That rolls off the tongue. Like Taco Cabana. Sheriff in Tennessee. Well, I'll have to behave in Tennessee. Oh, Maria. Maria's two-timing on me. Got me in one ear and a train in the other. That's like when Truck Cat used to ride with me. I had the GPS lady hollering at me in one ear. I had TK the Truck Cat yelling in the other ear. And yep, Mount Man, I am parked next to the cattle cage, but there ain't nothing in there. We already looked. I don't hear no noises. X-Hood, Sid, how you doing? Yes, Jason, too many 14-hour days. In fact, my 14-hour clock...
Messaging. You have 0 hours and 1 minute of remaining drive
My
time.
70-hour clock is right now 4 hours, 28 minutes. And we gain 3 hours tomorrow. So we keep hitting our 70 hours week after week just about. Do I encounter any animals of a four-legged variety at night at these truck stops? I don't know what you mean. I will say outside of where was it? Reno, Nevada. This was a couple years ago. Outside Reno, Nevada, there was a truck stop outside of town, and I literally watched a herd of wild horses walk right across the truck stop parking lot. Weirdest thing I ever saw, right off into the hills. I recorded that, forgot all about it, and ended up deleting it before I realized what it was. But the herd probably had 10, 15 wild horses in it. Just stroll right on across the parking lot. How do you activate the engine brake? You know your turn signal? Your little lever for your turn signal? Well, I got one for the engine brake. Hey, Rick, the sheriff from Tennessee, wants to buy me a steak. What city you in? Or what city you work or whatever. So I know what part of Tennessee. Greetings from Argentina. Well, greetings from Lexington. Oh, where are we? Lexington, Nebraska. When it's too windy to drive a big truck, what speed do they start following over? I guess you mean, how do you know when when a big rig will blow over? It depends on how hard the wind blows. It depends on how heavy you are. It depends on how fast you're going. There's a lot of factors. But when Wyoming and Nebraska put up the signs that say no light trailers, that means you better not be caught out there empty. Because if you get blown over, it's your fault. You were told not to go there. And that will be an expensive tow bill to upright you. So there is no official, when is it too windy? I have been caught in wind so hard that I literally had to go 5-10 miles an hour and just keep the seatbelt. Well, you always drive with your seatbelt, but keep it extra tight, and because I expected us to blow over. We were, like I said, 10 miles an hour. There was nowhere to pull over and stop. So you do what you can and use your head. I think I saw where you were from, Sheriff. I think we were just out there not that long ago. James, how you doing? Bristol Motor Speedway. Didn't I go by there, I don't know, a couple months back? Ken Laws would tell you if he's still on. Hey, we got a good signal. Got 113 people listening to me gab. All right, any more questions? Anything you want to talk about? Any gripes? Get a good Italian spaghetti. That brings back nightmares when I forgot who was it. Some restaurant chain in the toll thing in Illinois. Oh, it starts with an S. Sabara's or something like that. And I saw the price of like $7.99 or whatever it was. I thought that was a get all the spaghetti you want and everything else for $7.99. So I piled on the spaghetti and I piled on the salad and garlic bread and everything else, and I got to the register and it cost $30. Come to find out that $7.99 was per pound. Yeah, that was quite the shocker. When am I coming back to the Northwest? We were just up in the Northwest last month, right? I don't know. I just go wherever they send me. I have no idea what you're asking me, James. Yeah, if you see me with the trip going through your area there, Rick Wampler, make sure you send me an email to remind me. Say hello to Brazil. You know, Brazil, for those of you that haven't followed me forever, Brazil was the first country that actually talked about us on their Sunday night, the most popular Sunday night show in Brazil called Fantástico. And in August of 2008, we were talked about and shown on that TV show, and it actually crashed the website because we had 5,000 hits within seconds. So it crashed everything. But since then we've grown quite a bit, and so Brazil always was the very first one to talk about us. So I would appreciate that to everybody in Brazil. When will the shirts be ready? What I need to do with the shirts is make a page so you guys can pre-order. Then once I get all the numbers in, we'll get them printed up. I got to work on that really soon. I have the final design signed for and actually paid for. I think you guys are going to like it. I can't just order 5,000 shirts. I'm not that rich because they are hand printed. And so I can only buy basically what everybody's willing to pre-order. It will be pretty soon, I promise you. Does mashing the like button help with ad revenue? No, but if you watch an ad on the video stream, whether it's live or one of the archived videos, I do get money for that, yes. You don't have to click on it, but if you let it play through, then yes, I do get money from that. Harmony PA. Well, just like I told Rick, if you see the trip map showing that I'm headed your way, make sure you send me an email or two to remind me, because I might probably forget. Glad you liked the Glenwood Canyon and Virgin River Gorge. Yes. Got those hard recorded, and you could see why we wouldn't have any signal in there. So we did hard record that for you. Robert Norman, I am doing just fine. How are you doing? No more questions? Nothing you want to talk about? I should have parked across the street at Walmart and picked up some food, but we'll check out this full menu restaurant they got here. Being a Friday night, they should be open late. When you're parked in the winter and stay in a sleeper, do you run a generator or let the truck idle? I have a bunk heater, which will run off of the fuel inside the tanks. The truck can be off, and that puppy gets awful hot in here. You can adjust the temperature, but it'll keep you toasty to like 0 degrees or even a little bit colder than that. Of course, once it gets down to 0 degrees, I let the truck run anyways to keep the fuel tank heaters warm and the engine warm and all that stuff. But generally, I let the bunk heater, little bunk heater underneath the bed, keep me warm. .281 northbound is closed. I saw the construction there. Well, we'll work around that. My reefer unit. There's actually several different reefer brands that we have. We have Thermo King, we have Carrier reefer units. I'd be the first one to admit I don't know what engines they got in there. If you go to the Thermo King website, look up the Precedent model, Precedent reefer unit, and I'm sure it'll tell you all that you want to know. Does Walmart let you park all night there? This Walmart in Lexington, yes you can. In fact, both sides of Walmart at the very ends have dedicated truck parking. So I think that's very good for Walmart. Same thing, the Walmart in Sydney, Nebraska lets you park big rigs there. Will I be getting a fancy new Cascadia? I hope so. We'll have to see. We've got I don't know, a little bit over 200,000 on this one. The only driver for it, so we still have another 200,000 or 300,000 miles to go. And by then they'll come out with the 2019s and 2020s. So who knows what we'll have then. So, alright, I got some paperwork to take care of. Rick, Ray, Robert, Maria, Jason, Brad, Rick, Robert, all of you guys. You guys are the best road crew ever. And I appreciate you guys watching me day in and day out. Tomorrow, we'll pick up the load. It should be preloaded by the time we get there, especially since we'll be running late. We'll pick it up, swap trailers, and then head on down to Kansas City area. And then from there, we have another trip. So, Sparks has a question. I don't know if I could read the question. When does it start registering your new allowed amount of drive time? Not sure what you mean. Like, you talking about my 70-hour clock? You talking about my full day of driving clock? Or give me a little bit of better idea so I could properly answer. Hey, Keith Bonnet gave me $5. I appreciate that, Keith. Very, very much so. I hadn't been doing any road crew challenges lately. So, I appreciate that. I guess there's a delay, unless Sparks is writing this question. Kirk's Restaurant. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check that out. No, I do not have a way to run the AC. Running the AC only works when the truck idles. I will open the window. I've got 3 fans that I use. But when it's really humid, guess what? I idle the truck. Because I cannot sleep when it's hot. You know. Love the music broadcast. Well, I'm glad you did. I figured I'd freak everybody out and just do it. You know. Figure I'd just do it. I didn't make any money from yesterday's videos, but you guys more than make up for that. You guys are worth it. I'll give you a couple more seconds to rephrase your question there, Sparks. I don't know what clock you're talking about. If you're talking about my drive clock, it resets after 10 hours. As long as I still have 70 hours on my 70-hour clock. Country music and big rig trucks. Yes, they do go together. Severe storms this weekend here. Well, possible. We'll be down in Kansas City tomorrow afternoon. Alright, I guess y'all out of questions, plus I'm about to fall asleep. Alright, I will see you guys in the morning. Let's see, probably about 6:30, give or take a few. Daniel, I'm doing pretty good. You'll have to catch me next time. Robert, y'all have a good night, everybody. I will talk to you all later. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Home. Messaging.